So what we got here is a big old pot of boiling water. Alright, that's probably about maybe 4 quarts, okay? And that's some water and some beef broth, okay? And we got it to a boil. Now we need to turn it down, okay, to about low. And drop our pierogies in, okay, one at a time. Give each one, you know, a couple of minutes, okay? And you're going to need to boil these for about 20 minutes-ish, okay? Listen to that, ish. Oh my goodness. So, I'm going to give that one a minute or two. Oh, that smells good, that beef broth and that water and everything. I would like to throw some beer in there, but I won't because I don't have any. That's the only reason why. And my mama would go, don't you tell nobody what I'm about to do. I'm about to put some beer in here. And I'd be like, okay, I won't tell. And so I gave them a little chance to, you know, come to a boil, you know, and everything, because I don't want them sticking together. So, you know, I give each of them just a minute. I have one that's already starting to float. But like I said, still go for about 20 minutes on these. And I'm going to hold on to this for a second. And this here is our gravy mixture that's going to go on top. So it's going to kind of be a reverse version of what's in the oven. In the oven we have the beef gravy and the beef, you know, on the bottom of the dish and the pierogies on top baking. And then here we're going to have the pierogies on the plate and then the gravy poured over, or the milk gravy if you want to make milk gravy, brown butter, whatever it is, hot bacon dressing, whatever makes you happy. That's all Boova Shenkel, okay? Maybe it depends on what area you're from. I'm not really clear on that part. I just know that I've seen various recipes and they're all just a little different. So, oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I have them all in the pot now. I turned it down to low so I could put them in the pot. And now I'm going to let them come to a boil. I'm going to put them on medium high. I don't want to put them on high. That might be a little too much. They might fall apart, and I don't want that.
About half an hour on a soft boil. There we have our pierogi, and then I'm going to add some of this brown gravy, okay? And then I'm going to give it a test taste. That's my favorite part of the show. And so now I'm going to get on to showing you how to make the dough for the baked version, because as I said, this dough is not structurally correct for the baked version. So now I'm going to show you how to make the dough for the baked version of this dish. I'm going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to need a stick of frozen butter, a cheese grater, extra flour for flouring our surface, something to cut your circles with. I'm using an empanada press, and ice water. So I'm going to get started with putting this stick of butter in with the flour. It's going to take a whole stick, and I'm going to use the large holes. So I'm just going to start grating until it's all grated down. And I won't do this whole stick of butter on camera because I think that'll just bore you to tears. So I'm going to turn off the camera and come back. As you can see, I have all these little frozen butter curls, okay? And I'm just going to use a dough cutter, and I am going to cut this dough with the dough cutter until the butter is incorporated with the flour really well. And At the end of it all, you should have granules. I would say maybe pea-sized granules, like the size of a pea. You can kind of see where we're going with this. Also, going to have to add a half a teaspoon of baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder, and a half a teaspoon. Oh, never do that. Never pour salt or sugar or anything over what you're cooking, okay? All right, so there we go. Now, keep on with the dough cutter. And once your butter and flour are all really well mixed, and mine is getting there, you start to add some ice water. You're going to be using probably approximately half a cup, but what you have to do is add a little at a time. You can't just go, oh, the recipe says half a cup. It doesn't work that way. So, just going to go with small increments, and I'm going to keep mixing this until I have a ball of moderately sticky dough, not ridiculously sticky. I'm sorry, my hair just keeps getting in my eyes. It's driving me crazy. And so as you can see, it's still too dry. I'm going to add just a little bit more. And I strain this with my hand like that to keep ice from getting into the dough. And we're almost there. We're getting closer. So I'm going to add just a little bit more. And then when I have a ball of dough, it's time to start rolling. So I'm going to continue with this, and I'll come back when I'm done for the sake of not boring you. I have my somewhat sticky ball of dough, which I've divided into 2 pieces. And so I have some extra flour here. I'm going to flour my surface really well. And it's okay that this ball is a little sticky because it's going to get some flour on it. Hopefully my hair stays out of my eyes this time. I had to grab some spray net, straighten that situation out so I could see to finish doing this video. So I'm going to press this out to about 5-6 inch diameter, about a 1/2 inch thick. Okay, flip it a few times. Okay, and then I'm going to flour my rolling pin. I'm going to roll these out to 1/8 inch. Then I'm going to cut them as I did earlier with the boiled version. This is just a different dough recipe for the baked version, that's all. And I'm going to follow the same procedure. I'm going to put them on the press. I'm going to fill them with the potato filling and close them up. And so I'm going to get on with that. And for the sake of not boring you, I'm going to turn off the camera. Okay, now time for the baked version of this dish. And since it's just me and my husband, I'm going to be using individual 6-inch in diameter casseroles. And I'm going to spray the inside with cooking spray so I don't have anything sticking. And then I'm going to add some of the gravy. This is about, I don't know, 2.5 cups. Get that in there. All right. And then I'm going to top with the pierogies. Okay, so I gotta wipe my hands off here with something. All right, so how I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna take them like this and put them back to back. Get a couple of cute little pierogies and put them together like that. And then I'm gonna take and put a little egg wash on top, and then I'm gonna bake them at about 350, and then I'll check them in about a half an hour to see how they're doing. And so to make the egg wash, I'm going to do an egg yolk and 2 tablespoons of water, and I'm going to mix that up, and then I'm just going to brush that egg wash on top. And that is to help me get a golden brown. So this is the other version of it. This one, I can't remember the name of the cookbook, but it's a 1940s Pennsylvania Dutch cookbook, and it has the baked version. It's actually the version that
I like better, but I love both of them, so it doesn't really matter to me. I'll eat either one. So off in the oven this goes. So there it is with the egg wash, and into the oven we go. I also need to cover it. I'm sorry, there's the lid. Lid on there. And I'll be back here in about 25 minutes.
So here is the baked version. It is boiling hot, so I won't taste it right now. I'm going to let it settle down for about 15 minutes. But anyway, there you have it. You have the boiled version, you have the baked version. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.